Hello everyone, Alicia here with another lightened up Weight Watcher friendly recipe, and today's recipe is going to be for no-bake chocolate cherry cheesecake pie. Now I love the no-bake pies. I have several of them on my channel already. I'll try to remember and link those up above and down below if you want to check out some different versions. This one I'm doing today, I've never done before, the chocolate cherry version anyway. I have done a strawberry version, and that's what I'm using for inspiration to do this one. I think either the strawberry or this one though would be perfect for Valentine's Day, which is why I wanted to share this one with you guys. Because if you're looking for a WW friendly Valentine's Day dessert that's easy to make but delicious, the strawberry one definitely is. And again, I think this chocolate cherry version of that is going to be really good too. And both just perfect for Valentine's. So let me go over ingredients real quick and I'll show you what you're going to need to make this. First off, for the crust, I like to do my own crust. You don't have to. You can get a pre-made graham cracker, shortbread, whatever type of crust you want to use. But like I said, I like to do my own. They're very simple and they're only 3 ingredients. So what I'm going to be using for that is some Brummel and Brown here. This is my preferred light butter spread. I'm going to be using 4 tablespoons of this. And then I'm going to be using some of these Teddy Grahams, the chocolate. I'm going to be using 140 grams of these. You could also use chocolate graham crackers. Those work well too, but I like using these. So 140 grams of those. And then finally for the crust, I'm going to be using some of this Lakanto monkfruit sweetener. Classic, just a couple teaspoons of this. And that is it for the crust. For the rest of the pie, here I've got 12 ounces of pitted sweet cherries. Now these, I'll show you what they were. It was these right here, dark sweet cherries pitted. I went ahead, and it's 12 ounces by the way. I went ahead and just let those defrost. So 12 ounces of dark pitted cherries. And then here I've got an 8-ounce container of fat-free whipped topping. And then you're gonna need some Greek yogurt, non-fat plain. I'm gonna be using 2/3 cup of this. Back here, I've got some Lakanto powdered. You are gonna need a 1/2 cup of this. And just like the classic back here, you can definitely use whatever type of no-calorie sweetener you prefer. I just like the Lakanto, so that's why I'm always using that. Next up, I'm gonna be using some of these Lily's milk chocolate style baking chips. I'm gonna be using 70 grams of these. And then here, I've got a box of sugar-free Jell-O in black cherry. This is the 0.6 ounce box, or the larger one that makes 8 servings. Next, I've got a lemon here. I'm gonna be juicing about a teaspoon of juice from this. You don't have to use fresh lemon juice. You could use lemon juice concentrate. And then here, I've got some light cream cheese. I'm gonna be using this full 8-ounce container. And then finally, I've got some pure almond extract. I'm gonna be using a teaspoon of this. And that is everything, so let me get this started. So first thing I'm gonna do is take a Ziploc bag, tear that out, and then I'm gonna weigh out my 140 grams of Teddy Grahams. Okay, so I've got those weighed out. Now I'm gonna take my Ziploc bag, close it up, and then I'm gonna just take this rolling pin. I'm gonna break them up with this. Now you could do this in a food processor if you want. I never like to dirty up my food processor for something this small, so I like to use this method. So I'm gonna go ahead and break these up and then I will be back. I've got these nice and broken up, so I'm gonna set those aside. Grab myself a bowl here, and I'm gonna measure out my 4 tablespoons of the Brummel and Brown and get that melted in here. I just microwave that for 30 seconds. So now I'm gonna add in my Teddy Graham crumbs. And my 2 teaspoons Lakanto. Now this isn't a super sweet crust. If you want a sweeter crust, you're probably gonna wanna up your sweetener amount, but I don't like super sweet, so I just go with the 2 teaspoons. So now I'm gonna just mix all of that together. Okay, now I'm gonna grab my pie pan. I've got a standard size pie pan here, I'm just gonna take my crust mixture, pour that in, and then with my very clean hands, I'm gonna press this in to the bottom of my pie pan. All right, I've got this pressed in there pretty well, and I just do the bottom. I don't go up the sides. You can if you want, but I just think it's a whole lot easier to press it into the bottom. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in my fridge while I'm working on the filling for this. So what I'm gonna do for the filling first off is I'm gonna take my cherries and I'm gonna do a rough chop on these just so they're not whole. So you can cut them in half, quarters, whatever you want to do. I'm going to just kind of cut them roughly in halves. And then that way there's not going to be big chunks of cherry in there. Okay, I'm going to set that aside and I'm going to grab my mixer. So I have my mixer here. I'm going to add in my 2/3 cup Greek yogurt and my container of cream cheese, which this is at room temp. I think I forgot to say that, but you do want it nice and soft and room temp. And I'm gonna just whip the two of those together really well. I've got those two creamed together well, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add in my 1/2 cup Lakanto powdered, my teaspoon almond extract, and my Jell-O. And then I'm gonna just mix all of that together really well. I was stirring this together and realized I forgot to add in my lemon juice. So I'm gonna add in my teaspoon, squeeze lemon juice, and now I'm gonna mix this all together. Got this all whipped together, so now I'm gonna take my bowl off and I'm gonna add in my whipped topping. And I'm gonna fold that in. And now I've got my cherries here that I went ahead and after I chopped them, I put them back in the strainer because they are still losing liquid. As you can see, that's dripping in there. And you want to get these as liquid free as possible. So now I'm gonna add in probably 2/3 of these, reserving about 1/3 to garnish or put on the top. And then I've got my chips weighed out, and same with those. I'm gonna put probably 2/3 of them in, keeping 1/3 out to garnish with, and then I'm gonna fold both of those in. Okay, now this is ready to go in my pie crust. I've got my crust back out here, so now I'm gonna just take my filling, pour that over the top of it, smooth that in there, and now I'm gonna cover this with some plastic wrap, and I'm gonna let it sit in my fridge for a good 4 hours. Overnight is probably even better. I always like to do that with these type of pies. I think it just yields a better product when you let them sit a good overnight or 12 hours. But 4 hours is probably gonna be good too. I'll probably be back in 4 hours so I can get this finished up, but I will see you here shortly. I've let this pie sit in the fridge for almost 6 hours. I'm gonna call that good. I'll go ahead and finish it up. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and put my remaining cherries on the top, and I just left those in that strainer so that they would continue to release the rest of the juice, and that way it's not gonna get in my pie and water it down. So I'm gonna just take these, just kind of sprinkle them on the top along with my remaining chips. And that is all there is to this one. So I'm gonna go ahead, cut out a serving, show you what this looks like inside, and give you points. We'll also give it a taste, see how it tastes. Okay, I've cut a piece out of this, which is a serving. You can see what it's looking like inside. So I've got this factored in at 9 servings. And so a serving of this is going to be 8 points. We'll go ahead and give this a taste, see what it tastes like. Here's the piece right here. Closer up look. Okay, I got my hubby here right off the exercise bike, so this probably looks pretty good right now. Since you just burned a bunch of calories.
It's like dessert for him. Is this like a
chocolate cherry? It's a no-bake chocolate cherry cheesecake pie, I believe is what I'm calling it. Yeah, it would have been nice if I could have gotten mini versions of those chips, but if anybody knows if Lily's does a mini version of the chips, please let me know. I don't think they do though. Did you just say, oh man?
I did.
Like it was good?
Oh man.
Okay, hand me that fork because I want to try it too. I just need a little tiny bite. I just ate, so I'm not even hungry right now. Oh, you're not going to give me a bite of my pie? Give me a little tiny bite. Thank you.
Just you wait. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
oh boy.
I mean, I would pay good money for that in a bakery or a restaurant.
Oh man, that's good. Plus, it's pretty, I think. So, as I was telling them in the beginning of this, I think this would be great for Valentine's Day. Chocolate cherry. And then, do you remember the strawberry version of this I did? It's been a while since I've made it. That one would be good too, but I think this one's better.
It's
the cherry and chocolate.
It's tart, yeah. It's tart and sweet.
Yeah, that's a really good combination. Oh, I didn't tell you points. So 8 points for this.
That's worth 8 points.
Which is a 9th, so it's kind of a small piece, but I think it's worth it too.
I mean, you're getting something that nobody would ever think was Weight Watcher friendly, ever.
Yeah. I agree. All right, well that's a success then. I might have to make this one again for Valentine's Day. We're a little early right now, but anyway, guys, that was chocolate cherry, or no-bake chocolate cherry cheesecake pie, I believe is what I'm calling this.
What's the crust?
The crust is... It's Teddy Grahams. Yeah, I've done that several times before. That makes a really good crust with the Brummel and Brown and then Lakanto. All right, guys. As I was saying, no-bake chocolate cherry cheesecake pie. I'm thinking we're calling this one definitely a big success. He's eyeballing that like he's going to go back in for more.
I have to get back on the bike.
Got to get back on the bike. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.